What gave me the drive? Hunger, necessity, and being homeless. I had just filed bankruptcy in 2007, so I was broke. I was in the check system.
My heart is in education, but I want to be the friend I wish I had when I was growing up.
My purpose really is to use what God has put in my hands as a vehicle to impact people's lives, to break addictive cycles of poverty. So they're not so busy chasing money, they forget to raise their children to be good husbands, good wives.
The companies are built to sell. My goal is to see how many millionaires we can create through that exit.
You need to protect and segregate all your assets because the system is made to take it back. Not to scare you, it's just a reality.
But if you don't have your identity set, get it from God. The way He sees you, that's your identity. Hey, Andy, thank you for bringing us to Phoenix, bro. What a great time here with Ivan, Navarrete, the champion, Rafa.
Thank you guys.
Next gen credit.
It was a pleasant surprise, bro.
Yeah.
You haven't either, like.
I love hanging out with you guys, dude. I always learn something new.
He's humble, bro. We're learning from you, brother.
Yes.
You guys are the, you guys are the big brothers.
Navarrete, bro. Navarrete is a phenomenal entrepreneur, businessman, father, husband.
¿Sabes qué? Ahorita me gustaría que hagamos el elevator pitch que nos estás
Elevator pitch?
Ahorita,
Why don't we all do it?
Yeah, after.
Okay.
After, pero me habías preguntado de...
Sí, bro, ¿qué onda? So what is, I know your company is Next Gen, right?
Yeah.
Next Gen credit, Next Gen real estate, Next Gen loans, all that. But what is what is the wealth gap?
Para mí es que yo estoy peleado como con lo de...
Middle class.
Lower to middle class, bro. Lo de haber crecido in the midst of the struggle.
Wow.
You know, so yo estoy conscientemente en una búsqueda intencional de aprender lo que tal vez nuestros padres o nuestros ancestors
Yeah.
no pudieron access
Yeah, I love that, bro.
in their lifetimes. So that hopefully, they say knowledge is power.
Yeah.
But I think it's potential power. Pero de menos ya los podemos hacer equip a nuestra gente con la información que the lower to middle class many times doesn't have.
Yeah.
So for me, the wealth gap is just a fight against the lower to middle class. I know how it is. We grew up around it. And
I love that, bro.
And those that have managed to break through the lower to middle class, I want to have on here so that we can reach our audience and they can gain that information that we didn't have access to growing up.
Yes.
So ustedes son esas personas.
Thank you, Andy.
Y pues bien raza, bien paisanos, igual que uno, empezaron como uno.
Yeah.
Y por eso quiero que compartan aquí con nuestra gente, para que
Claro
se
que sí.
inspiren, se eduquen. Y pues ya de menos con ese acceso, con esa información, nos podemos defender poquito más.
Una
Claro que
perspectiva
It's
diferente.
gotta start that way.
Yeah.
With educating our people, ya de menos no puede decir la raza de que no... They didn't know better. Like, they didn't know what steps to take.
That's so good, Andy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, me encanta eso because I know that just being raised in a middle class family, parents divorced at 13, and just hitting rock bottom at 13, and I can tell you that wealth is not something that just happens for people. We create it, and it's nothing but a mindset, a set of rules and principles. It's a matter of having the desire. Rafa was talking about it last night, being hungry. Like, hey, so you're saying, you asked, you said, Chris, so it's just being hungry. And that's it. Just being hungry. We can literally just stop the podcast right now. Being hungry. But hey, why don't we talk about who we are, what we do? Ivan, why don't you tell us, bro? What do you do? Where you come from? What is Ivan? Your elevator pitch, 30 seconds. Come on.
30 second pitch. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here today. I'm honored to be here. Very blessed. I'm just someone who grew up, I grew up in the streets of Tijuana. The first 15 years of my life.
TJ.
But, I grew up I grew up in a non-affluent neighborhood. I come from a blue-collar family, hardworking parents. And fast forward now, and there's more to the story, but I'm in long-term holding real estate.
Conoces todo aquí, bro. Nos ha dado tours de todo.
He's a walking encyclopedia.
I have a portfolio. I'm trying to go Spanglish and English. So yeah, I own a real estate portfolio, multifamily here in Phoenix. I started in 2009 to 2015. I lived here for 6 years, and I built a beautiful mini empire for my family. And that's what I do. That's my bread and butter. I buy and hold real estate long term. And I have an office here. I have my staff here, and we're also in the hospitality business. We've been in the hospitality business for 10 years. What I mean by that is we own a wedding venue in North Park in San Diego. So those are our two main industries we're in, and there's a lot of amazing blessings and learning experiences and challenges, and also a lot of exciting news that I can share with you guys today.
Sí, ahorita tenemos que platicar de todo eso.
Wow.
And Spanglish is cool, bro.
Spanglish.
Pues nuestro following es pura raza, bro.
Eso. Okay.
Entonces, lo más...
Spanish que se pueda.
Yeah, lo más, como
¿Y es raza de qué parte? ¿De la Capirucha? ¿De Guadalajara?
Sí, para saber si meterle
No, un acento de España, por favor.
No sé, ese es argentino. Che,
tío,
me cago en la virgen.
Tío.
Ese es español.
Me está cagando esto.
Aquí estamos en Arizona de nuevo. Vivimos aquí del 2009 al 2015. Aquí viví, llegué sin nada. Llegué
That story is crazy.
1500, llegué con 1500 bolas en la bolsa, con una mochila de mochilazo. Me quedé en la casa de mi amigo Elías Pérez. Un saludo a Elías Pérez. Me dio quebrada quedarme en su apartamento que vivía aquí en las avenidas, en la 55 Avenida Latames. Y me dijo, pues aquí le puedes caer, you can crash on my couch. Y ahí me quedé la primera semana, ahí en su sala, ¿no? Yo vine a visitarlo a él. Yo no tenía nada de conocimiento de bienes y raíces, ni de to buy and hold apartment complexes or fourplexes, units and all that stuff. But when I came to visit him, I noticed when I was driving to all the streets, especially in Central Phoenix, I identified a lot of boarded up, distressed, vacant buildings that were REO, real estate owned, or they were in foreclosure. And I remember I called one of the signs that was for sale, and I called up this agent, and that's where everything started. I asked him how much is for this property, and it was a fourplex, beautiful building, brick build, good bones, in the shadows of downtown Phoenix. And he says that one's going for $25,000. It was a fourplex, and it was a front house with a triplex in the back, so a house in the front and 3 units in the back. And it was beautiful, and that's how it started. And I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense because, I mean, this is like $5,000 a door. And he says, and I got more. I got more listings, and they just lowered the price. And that's what catapulted me to moving to Phoenix in 2009 and staying here for 6 years. I had no money, and I had to raise capital, private capital through friends, people that I knew. And I started buying these at $5,000 a door, pennies on the dollar. And it took me about 2 months to land my first deal. It was a fourplex, and then about 2 months to land my second deal. That was a triplex. And then from there, it became my niche on a 10 by 10 mile or 15 by 15 mile radius in Central Phoenix. And I stayed here for 6 years, and I did it every day. I slept it, breathed it, ate it.
So de no saber nada, bro.
No saber nada.
Nada, y te empezaste. So how long after? And this was just
let me backtrack.
Y dice que no.
Ese debe peché.
No, pero de cuando te viniste, how soon did you get into your first deal?
I came here to visit I came to visit in January of 2009.
¿Qué día, bro?
I don't know.
Es que tiene una memoria bien
It was a
buena,
weekday. It was a weekday.
Chris, espérate, Chris. What were you wearing?
A Charger jersey. A Charger jersey because they were on the playoffs. I think it was the first round or second round of the playoffs against the New York Saints.
Ya ve.
The New Orleans Saints.
Tangent, carnal.
New Orleans Saints.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Síguele.
That was what I was wearing. I'm not kidding you.
Ivan,
I don't remember I was wearing the next day, dude. That I don't remember.
Ivan, pero you were just, let us know. I know what you did, but I want everybody to hear this. Were you fixing and flipping, or were you buying and holding for cash flow? What were you doing, bro?
Great question, Chris. That's a great question, right? Because real estate has different asset classes, right? There's different strategies too. So what happened is in 2005, I was a seminar junkie. So answer your question, Chris. I was a seminar junkie. I got so excited. I'm going to all these seminars, self-development, real estate investing, create wealth through real estate. But I never applied it because I was scared. I was, procrastination, analysis paralysis. But when the market crashed in 2007 on the first quarter, I lost everything. I started implement just about 2 principles that my coach, Mike Watson, taught me during those seminars. And I ended up adopting the asset class of long-term hold. Build long-term wealth by long-term hold, and focus that on buying units, multifamily units. And you can go intermediate, which is 4 to 10 units, or you can go high density, 20 units plus, So because I was limited on cash and I was just starting and I was a little bit scared because fear is never going to go away. That's a good thing. I wanted to start with baby steps with 4-plex systems before I graduated into 20 units or 12 units. And it became a very comfortable niche. And I believe in long-term hold because every month we get passive income. And the equity grows, right? We're not even factoring the future equity, the future opportunities, how you can leverage and hedge against those portfolios that we're building. But the beauty is we're creating cash flow every month. So we don't have to be in the hustle. We don't have to be in the grind. Nevertheless, I was hustling and grinding for the first 6 years. You do have to hustle. You got to grind. You got to fight to the death. I mean, I'm being a little bit exaggerated, but you got to work every day until you reach your goal. Then you can reap the fruits. People confuse. You can't just create passive income by connecting the dots or being the middle person.
Follow what you love.
Yes, you need to have hunger. So what gave me the drive? Hunger, necessity, and being homeless. And I had just filed bankruptcy in 2007, so I was broke. I was in the check system. I couldn't even open up a bank account.
So good.
And I was driving I was driving a beautiful vehicle. But I was driving it for almost a year because I was in bankruptcy. The repo was chasing after me, but I needed this car to get me around. Anyways, but I'm very grateful for all those challenges, trials, and tribulations, and made me who we are today. I'm glad we have to go.
Campeón.
I mean, growing up in a non-affluent neighborhood, Tijuana, and I used to see the kids. I used to live, Rancho Bernardo, La Jolla, Bel Air, Hollywood. You're like, man, I wish, but no, it made us who we are today. And now the toughest challenge for us is going to be, I have 3 kids, I have a 5, a 7, and 11-year-old. How am I going to teach them to have that hunger? And that's one of my toughest ministries and responsibilities that I'm currently facing, and I'm looking forward to it, but it's hard to teach kids to have that hunger when they haven't gone through the footsteps that here Chris Aguilar and you, Andy, and you, Rafael. So just keep that in mind. When you have kids, how are we going to keep our kids?
Thank you for sharing that, bro.
Thank you. Sorry, I talk a lot.
No, we want to hear that, bro. We want to hear that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
¿Tú, Rafiño?
So,
Hay que hablar de
Elevator pitch or what?
Yeah, como gusten, ya se quieren presentar.
Pues I think it's awesome for people to know what you do, man.
Yeah.
okay.
I want to know exactly what you do.
So for those of the people that don't know who I am, my name is Rafael Villegas, aka Rafa the Credit Guru.
Champ.
Me apodaron. But anyway, so I own a credit repair business. It's called Next Gen Credit Solutions. I got the name from my brother here.
Next Gen.
Nos asociamos ahí, bro. Un honor estar
Wow.
contigo, bro. To look back at high school cuando andábamos desmadrosos and now, congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
how I got into credit repair was, it's funny. So back in, I would say 2019, I was selling cars for a local dealership here, Avondale Dodge. And one of my managers at the time was in credit repair. And so he left the car business to follow his dreams and begin his credit repair company. So left the dealership, long hours. Wife got tired of always working, couldn't make birthday parties, couldn't make certain things. Got tired of that, left that. And then in 2020, I mean, everything went to crap, the recession started. And we just started, I didn't have a sense of direction. I don't know if Andy remembers, but I actually got into the wholesaling business. I was wholesaling for a little bit.
Come on, Rafa.
So I started wholesaling. I did wholesaling for, I think, 6 months. And that was right when COVID started. So it was very, very hard to get properties under contract. And the company I was working for before, or working with, there was a few issues that happened there. So I ended up leaving them, and I kind of just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I met with the guy. His name is Timo Wilson. So shout out Timo. I met with him and I said, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, what is this credit stuff? Because I was kind of intrigued, And he's like, hey, look, like, I started my own company. Like, this is what I do. I help people fix their credit. I help, remove anything that's negatively impacting the credit.
Yeah.
And I help people clear their files so that way they're able to buy, whether it's a house, a car, whatever the case is. So I was like, hey, I'm interested. Like, I want to learn that. So he's like, cool. Like, if you want to learn that, I'll teach you. Like, come work with me. So I said, look, what I'll do is I'll come work with you, but I only want to work with you maybe like 1 year, and then I plan on doing my own thing. So he's like, cool, give me a year, and then you can start your own stuff.
Beautiful.
So I gave him 6 months. I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. As we talked earlier, I like to get my sleep in.
Yeah.
And I don't like clocking in and out, bro. Like, that's just not me. I've always been the kind of guy that I don't like somebody telling me when I can go and use the restroom,
Of course.
when I can go and eat my lunch, or rushing me if I'm taking 5 minutes extra because I'm eating my lunch
claro que
calmly,
no,
you know?
no.
So I was like, I've never been that kind of guy. So I left there and I said, hey, what I'll do is you don't need to give me more leads. I'll follow my own.
Wow.
I'll do my own thing. I connected with Andy and I said, look, brother, this is what I'm doing. So he said, perfect. I'll plug you in.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's kind of where that started. So, brother, eternally grateful for you. So that's where everything started. I connected with him, a few of his people, and then I reached out to the other friends, mutual friends that we have, connected with them, and, you know,
Magnificent people,
4 or
bro.
5 years later, amazing people.
All the
Amazing.
team, Dandy. All your team is
Este-
magnificent.
Gracias, bro. Sí, sí. We're truly blessed.
La neta que sí.
45 years later, aquí andamos, gracias a Dios, you know, doing better than what we were.
Andamos mejor, compas.
Andamos
¿Qué hubo?
mejores.
Eso es español.
So, a little bit about me too. I'm actually, I come from an immigrant family. My parents brought me to the U.S. when I was 3 years old.
Órale.
Grew up with no kind of status.
Wow.
And it was a little tough. It was a little tough in high school because I would drive around. They'd pull me over, take the car away.
Puras tonterías, bro, le pasaba. De que I remember that shit from high school, bro. I learned a lot from seeing that. Porque los que nacimos aquí a veces no estamos conscientes de cómo,
Oh, yeah.
you know, cómo a veces la batalla.
How privileged one is by just having a social security card and a driver's license.
Bro,
Puta.
como les dije ayer, él era el academic scholar. Great student. Él bien disciplinado, bro.
Fenomenal pasar clases.
Sí, y el chiste que luego escuchábamos que he couldn't go to, I don't know, he couldn't meet us somewhere because the left or the right, ¿cómo se llama? El foco estaba
yeah.
fundido.
The tail light, de
y
atrás.
les quitaron los carros porque el foco estaba
Una
fundido.
estupidez.
Puras tonterías. Y yo decía,
Yeah.
bro, come on.
Tontadas.
Yeah.
¿Y cuál era el más desmadroso del grupo?
No, pues ahí
A uno que le hicieron maloso.
Nos
güey.
la rifábamos entre todos.
había una competencia ahí, había mucho desmadre.
Mucha competencia. Andy,
Este-
¿qué onda contigo, carnal?
Pues yo tengo el privilegio de
Yeah.
liderar
Ya.
un mortgage company,
Yeah.
un real estate team, que Dios me ha bendecido con gente muy buena, bro.
Ya.
Una vez te pregunté a ti, porque mis capitanes también me preguntaron, bro, ¿cómo le estás haciendo para conocer a the Ivans of the world, the Chris of the world, y que acepten las amistades, que te dejen in the room?
Ya.
And I asked you, brother, that's a good question. Le dije a mi equipo, that's a good question. Let me ask Chris. Chris, what did I do? What did you see?
Yeah.
How did I manage to, establish this friendship with you? And you said, you don't get what you want. ¿Cómo dijiste?
You attract
you
who
attract
you
what
are.
not what you want.
Mhm,
You
yeah.
attract who you are, not what you want.
Ya, ya.
Y gracias a Dios, el grupo que tenemos, I can't wait till they meet you, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna relate. They're all gonna relate a lot to the
Yeah.
both of you. A Chris ya lo
Amen.
conocen,
Sí.
pero me
Ivan's
me
an
da
animal.
sí me da mucho gusto de que
Pura gente buena.
que nos pudiste acompañar esta
Yeah,
vez para
yeah.
que me conozcas mejor el equipo que un día tal vez
Claro que
ojalá
sí.
tengan el privilegio de conocerte.
Claro que sí.
You're gonna see that they're amazing people, bro.
Ya.
Todos vinimos de similar
Claro.
background, de migration, and
Claro.
started from the bottom, fighting our way.
O sea, aquí tienes uno al lado de ti. Un champion.
Entonces,
Rafael,
somos
Thank you,
unos
brother. Thank you.
60, ya 70 en
Camaradas.
miembros en el equipo.
No más, no más
Next Gen
70.
and,
Wow.
and Legacy.
Wow, bro.
Y seguimos expandiendo. Ahorita ya Rafa, primero Dios, también nos va a ayudar a
Wow.
expandir aquí a Arizona. Y le vamos a seguir dando gas. Making
todo.
sure we continue to grow and build with the right people.
Thank
¿Cuál
you.
es tu misión con estas empresas, bro? ¿Qué es la visión?
Sí, pues, como estaba hablando ahorita aquí de Wealth Gap,
Yeah.
my heart is in education.
Mm.
I want to school to be a teacher as well.
Órale. Órale.
Yeah. So that's where my heart is. I want to be the
Soccer coach.
that too, but I want to be the friend I wish I had when I was growing up. So I knew that I had ambitions as a little kid. I saw the
Wow,
family
bro.
struggle. I saw
Wow, that's powerful.
the lack of money, and the challenges that
Wow.
brought.
Wow.
And I know that there's a lot of youngsters,
Yeah.
14, 15, 16, 17, trying to fight that
Wow.
situation, but they need the friend.
The sources.
You know, the access, bro, the education.
The proximity.
Y ahí quisiera enfocarle más
Yeah.
más tiempo. the companies are built to sell. I want to build value enterprise. I want there to be an exit, and then those that help me build to get a piece of
Exit with you.
Yeah, to exit with me.
Wow.
My goal is to see how many millionaires we can create through that exit.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. And thank you, Chris, for bringing. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to keep it real.
Yeah.
Doblar al chile, como dicen en el norte. Si no fuera por Chris,
Pelón.
no estuviera aquí. Chris is, I consider him one of my spiritual godfathers. I'm not trying to be religious, but I'm just keeping it
Come on,
real.
bro.
Y estoy muy agradecido con él. Él siempre me ha dado esquina en todos los aspectos, en nuestras congregaciones, en nuestros programas de ministerios empresariales. Siempre ha hablado por mí, siempre me ha dado esquina. Siempre voy a estar agradecido. Y siempre le digo a todos, Chris, I always tell everybody, no, la neta, yo estoy aquí, la neta, por Chris, la neta. Bueno, él abogó por mí, pero yo tuve que también que escarbar, ¿no? Y ser responsable y no dejarlo abajo con las personas que me puso en alto, ¿no? Y siempre voy a estar agradecido con él.
Uno no,
Sí, no,
Iván.
te admiramos mucho a ti.
Uno no.
Nunca se me va a olvidar, bro, ¿eh?
You my bro. You my bro too. You guys my
Sí.
bros.
¿Cómo te sientes estar en ese asiento de liderazgo donde I don't know if you do this intentionally
Yeah.
or God just anointed, blessed you with like this responsibility
I think he's
of
blessed.
having so many men look up to you, bro. I see it all the time.
He's definitely blessed.
And he does it in such a subtle way, but he'll tell me about times where people who are maybe having financial crisis in their life and they come to you, or marital
Yeah, it's a pleasure, bro.
challenges, and then they
Yeah.
come to you and
Yeah.
Denise. So, ¿cómo se siente eso, bro?
You know, se siente muy bonito, ¿no? Es hermoso. Creo que es mi llamado en la vida.
Wow.
You know, it's my calling. But, para todo ocupamos intencionalidad. You need intentionality for everything in life, bro. And, before anything, I'm the son of the Most High God. I'm a husband to my beautiful Denise. I'm a father to my 4 beautiful children. My beautiful Italia that was just born 9 months ago. I'm an author, I'm a developer, a real estate investor, and so many other things. But all that, real estate is just a vehicle that I use, that God put on my hands. There was one time when God said, hey, Chris, what did I put on your hands? Use it to influence. Mm-hmm. So I'm on a mission to become the biggest influencer I can be. And yes, on Instagram and social media, but I'm talking about real life influencer. Yeah. I have thousands of people that know me in real life that I influence their lives.
Yeah, social media is all hype, bro.
Yeah, it's a hype. And it's awesome, and I love social media. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm saying that, like, the real influencing is changing families, changing legacy, generations to come.
Bro, ayer
Yeah.
Que estabas preguntando, I was waiting for you to ask me.
What?
What's your purpose? And I was going to answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, ask
I'm
me
in the
that.
life-changing business.
You want me to ask you? Life-changing business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pero it goes through this, bro. It goes through, like, the education, the beliefs
Yeah.
That we need to transform, bro. Y yo estoy con una misión de
That's
ser el
right.
mejor estudiante para seguir aprendiendo de ti, de Ivan, para poder seguir transferring that over.
But here's this. So my purpose is exactly that. And that's the reason why I told you attract who you are, not what you want.
Yes.
We're in the same mission, same assignment. So my purpose is to use what God put in my hands, real estate, teaching it, developing it, whatever I do in real estate, holding it, buying it, holding it, fixing, flipping it, wholesaling, whatever I do, everything that God has given me to create, I've created it, but He's given it to me.
Yes.
The biggest lesson of being humble that I receive is a proverb that says, a soldier prepares his horse for battle, but awaits for God to deliver the victory. See, what that means is that imagine a soldier's going to go and risk his life. He sharpens his sword. He's ready to go and give his life. And he prepares. I can imagine a soldier. Imagine a man like Ivan, like big muscles, like, old school soldier. Greco-Roman
Andy.
soldier.
No.
Andy.
Como Andy, está más
Andy.
mamado.
No
Sin
kangaroo.
canguro.
No kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
If you don't know what kangaroo is, then ask Ivan later. Right? Hit him up on IG.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like a soldier, bro. Like a soldier.
Yeah.
And he has the humbleness to understand that if God does not give him the victory, he will die. But he's willing to do it. And that's what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So my purpose really is to use what God has put in my hands as a vehicle to impact people's lives, to get them closer to God, to break addictive cycles of poverty, reverse them into a cycle of freedom so they're not so busy chasing money they forget to raise their children to be good husbands, good wives,
so amazing.
and go out and take the territory that God's called them to take, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
my purpose.
Yeah,
Crazy.
bro, yeah.
Talk a little bit about purpose.
That's what you said. It's something you said, bro.
Sí, no, pero yo no me sé elaborar así.
The
No,
difference
¿cuál es
between
laboral?
purpose What was the other one?
Your why?
Identity.
Identity. Exactly.
Yeah, identity is something that God gives you. It's very simple. If you feel like you don't have identity, then I'm glad you're looking at this podcast or this little clip here. But identity is very simple. God gives you your identity, not your workplace or nothing. As a matter of fact, one of Hitler's disciples, Otto von Bismarck, invented retirement because they figured out that if you take the identity out of a human being.
What people do, which is the identity I've heard is you're not what you say, you are what you do.
Yep.
So then that's
So Otto von Bismarck took away their identity by removing them from the workplace and created a word called retirement. It doesn't exist in the Bible. If it doesn't exist in the Bible, God didn't create it. It's not good for you. Food, workouts, whatever, health, food, or religion, or workplace, marketplace. So here's this: 10 years after, statistically, people die after retiring. The people who identify their life
with what they do.
Yeah, for people who identify identity what they do. So if you marry your identity to what you do, you will die once you retire. And I mean, who cares about dying? We shouldn't be afraid of that because we're going to go to heaven. But here's this, better place. But how bad would it be, Rafa, to be 120 years old and in your deathbed and thinking, dang, I should have given myself an opportunity to find out who I was. I don't want to be that person. You're not going to be that. You're not that person.
Crazy.
But if you're listening and you feel like that, your identity comes from God. The way God sees you, you're an overcomer. You're on the top, not the bottom. You're the head, not the lead. The Word of God says that you would surpass. The Word of God says that He will surpass, exceed, transcend all of your dreams, visions, expectations. It says it very clear in we said it yesterday, Ephesians 3:20. Because to Him who can do to Him who can do immeasurably more than all you can think or imagine, according to His power that's at work within you. So, bro, if you're anyone out there, I know it's not a problem with us, but thank God because we know about Him. But if you don't have your identity set, like marked for sure, get it from God. The way He sees you, that's your identity. Purpose is what He created you to do here on earth. And there's a couple of questions that I asked for that super quick because I don't want to hog this podcast. But 4 things. One, what is what wakes you up, makes you jump off your bed, Rafa? Number 2, if you were to get the 7 best of friends of your life in a room, what would they say you're good at?
What would they all agree that is your God-given gift?
Yeah. Yeah. No matter how much I want to do, I've opened up clothing companies, I open up marketing companies, I open up security guard companies, drywall companies, union companies in my life, many companies. But at the end of the day, you ask anybody who knows me, Mr. Chris, for you, when I need to know real estate, I call you. That's what I do. So anyway, answering those questions will help you get you to your purpose, what God put in your hands, whatever that is a vehicle to go out and influence people to whatever calling you have in your life. So that's, what you have in your hands. Well, I never said it like this. This is really good. What God has placed in your hands, marry it to the calling God's giving you your life. That's your purpose.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So good, bro.
That's good, yeah.
Me encanta escucharte hablar así, bro.
Me encanta escucharte también a ti, bro.
Ivan, algo que admiro mucho es de que cada oportunidad que tienes, noto que honras a Chris. Hace poquito we met with an old friend of yours.
Oh, yes, Mr.
Que
DJ.
te abrió las puertas when you first started. Se me hace muy bonito el poder ver de que tienes ese corazón de seguir honrando a los que te han echado la mano en el pasado.
¿Y puedo decir algo, bro? Es genuino. Cuando nos íbamos, hizo algo, Iván, que ustedes estaban en el carro, ¿no? Porque we're in a timeline to get here. Pero lo abrazaste bien bonito.
Oh, yeah. It's Uncle DJ.
¿Qué significa eso como para ti, bro? What can you say about, I don't know, those friends that have totally changed the trajectory of your life and they played a major role to get you to where you are today?
Yes. Wow. I'm going to answer your question the best I can, Andy. That's a great question. Like when I came here in 2009, el Uncle DJ tenía 68 años. Ahorita ya tiene 84. Y este ruquito, ese señor que lo aprecio mucho, es como, pues digo Uncle DJ, no es como mi abuelito, mi papá. Pues yo llegué aquí nomás tenía un amigo que no se dedicaba a bienes y raíces. Él pues tenía su trabajo, ¿no? Elías, pero no tenía, este señor lo conocí por medio de una persona que conocí en el gimnasio cuando hacía ejercicio cuando recién llegué, y me conectó con ese señor que era su papá. Y ese señor era agente de bienes y raíces, Uncle DJ, Delbert Camus. y me dio quebrada de usar su MLS, porque él era agente en aquel tiempo. Él tenía su licencia de bienes y raíces vigente aquí en Arizona, en Phoenix, y pues yo ocupaba crear unos, I needed to create
The comps, no?
some comps, and I needed to create some specs for my parameters on properties I was looking for. So my parameters, I created a self-automated search through his MLS to have him email to me. I will put my parameters. There were like, four units, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 10,000 square foot lots. Those were my parameters on these zip codes, on these zip codes. So every morning I would get about 20 new listings. Out of those 20, every day, at least one was a good deal. Wow. I couldn't buy them all because I was buying maybe I was taking down 5 properties a month because I was doing everything by myself, right? I was applying what Mike Watson taught me. Pero ese señor me daba raites a ver las propiedades, no tenía carro. Ya me lo había quitado, el repo ya me había reposido el carro, me lo habían quitado y pues tenía que chambear, ¿no? Para comprarme un carro, una ranfla, lo que sea, ¿no? Y el señor me daba raites y me dejaba dormirme en su casa a veces. Me invitaba a sus convivios, a sus barbecues los fines de semana porque yo estaba aquí solo. Y pues la neta, pues me quedaba, ¿qué hago? ¿Qué vas a hacer, morro? Hey, what are you going to do, kid? What are you going to do next weekend? We're going to have Super Bowl. Come to my house. Y pues toda su familia, la brasileña, todos sus amigos me invitaban y pues...
¿Te abrió las puertas, pues?
Sí, bro. Y estoy bien agradecido con él. Wow. Y me da buenos consejos siempre.
It's amazing.
Sí, pero...
Yeah, that was beautiful to see.
Y cada vez que venimos a Phoenix, pues Phoenix es mi segunda casa, ¿no? Ya radico en California, en San Diego, y tienen su casa todos. Pero sí, cuando vengo para acá siempre hago... siempre trato, lo frecuento mucho. Porque no sé cuántos años más nos lo va a prestar Dios, porque ya está grande el Señor, pero muy sano.
Bien.
Sí.
Suena muy bien.
Y le diste un compliment muy bonito que le dijiste que you saw peace. Y no recuerdo el otro, pero yo también sentí lo mismo. Cuando lo ves que están... They're no longer... I don't know if we want to call it... I don't know, in the chase.
The chase of life, yeah.
Pero él lo notaba.
The perspective of life is completely
¿Y qué
different
consejo
than
te
us.
dio, bro? El consejo que nos dio, repítelo. De la mano y los ojos, ¿te acuerdas?
No, pues es una broma.
No, pero creo que es...
It's really good.
No, creo que
sí,
es
sí,
muy...
sí. No, sí, claro, no. No, he said, Ivan, I'm going to tell you one thing. Well, he told me 2 good things. Not too scary. The first one was, son, there's one thing you need to remember. You need to protect all your assets. Through entities, LLCs, etc. You need to protect and segregate all your assets because the system is made to take it back. Not to scare you, it's just a reality. Estamos en el país de las demandas, desafortunadamente. So the system is created to take it away from you.
Yeah.
So you better keep you better have a tight ship.
So in simplified terms, every investment that we make,
Separate entity. Yes, separate entity.
Straight
Don't
back to these, all
commingle.
that.
Porque cuando llegan los fregazos, when push comes to shove, llega una demanda, pues te agarra el abogado. Primero que hacen, they try to see how can they pierce corporate veil through whether it's a improper accounting, whatever that is. So you have to keep everything very segregated and have the proper umbrella insurances and the proper insurances according to whatever nature of the business is. But then the next one, that was funny. When I first got here, I dealt with a lot of fraudulent contractors. Not that every contractor is fraudulent, but agents, people. It was a lot of fraudulent people. I mean, here in every area, there's a lot of finances, and especially in the finances districts throughout the country.
Affluent areas.
Yeah, that's affluent areas. That's where a lot of these scammers they congregate, right?
Yeah.
Not trying to steer people from not going there, but I remember I got scammed 3 or 4 times, and one of them is paying a general contractor X amount of money up front. Well, I never saw him. She never showed up. But anyways, he goes, every time you meet someone, you always shake them, at the end of the meeting, give them a firm shake in the hand and look them in the eye. And when you're looking in the eye and they're looking away, they're twitching, he says, you just got, you got screwed.
Beep.
Yeah. Yes. So, and he was right. So I'm going to shake you in the hand right now. Okay. You're legit. I creo que lo conozco.
Legit. He seems legit.
No, este ya me lo dejó
He
ir.
kept the eye contact.
Este me lo dejó ir. Anyways, lo estimo mucho al tío DJ.
He's a cool cat, man.
Y siempre que vengo, pues siempre me avienta proyectos y aquí está un proyecto de 75 millones, ahorita nos bombardeó.
Ahorita trae uno chiquito, ¿de cuánto
era
ahorita?
chiquito, ese era 75 melones.
Okay.
Yo le decía, DJ, la neta lo invité a
Tranquilo.
desayunar, vamos a quebrar el hielo, mañana hablamos de eso, porque ahorita me lo van a pesar que los quiero también, les quiero bajar la lana. Pero no sé, era un museo, no sé qué rollo, pero el señor pues muy apasionado y pues lo escucho, ¿no? pero yo no tengo ahorita, ahorita no estamos, ahorita vamos a esperar a ver qué es lo que va a pasar, pero vienen cosas buenas, vienen cosas buenas, estamos ahorita en una etapa, we're in a season right now, we're in a stage in our nation where things, whether it doesn't matter what political stance you take, but
Historical.
It's going to be something interesting. Things are going to happen. Things are going to
great.
shift. But if you have the right mindset, you have the right concepts, we have a good team, we have a good community, we're going to create a lot of opportunities and blessings to real estate.
Oh.
And that's why I'm hanging out with you guys.
I love it. Dices que anoche llegaste a la casa and you told your wife, pues, that you had a great time, that your cup was full.
Yeah.
What comes to mind when you reflect on last night's conversations or, yeah?
Well, more than anything, I was just blessed to be able to have formally met and sat with Chris and spoke with Chris. Formally met Ivan and got to speak with Ivan. I mean, I just felt very honored, to be honest, because, I mean, you guys walk around like average people, but you guys are the shit. Excuse my French. You know what I mean? So to me, like, it was an honor.
What does that mean, though? What do you?
Because I'm an average guy.
What would you describe?
I mean, my wife. I mean, my wife.
I'm just an average guy. You know what I mean? And you guys are at a different stage of life, is what I mean. You know, we start here. You're 9-to-5ers. Then you have your entrepreneurs, and then you have your entrepreneurs. Then you have your entrepreneurs. Then you have business owners, multiple business owners, investors, and so on and so forth. So, you know, you guys are at a different stage in life, and I plan to one day, God willing, get to that stage in life as well. But I was just very honored and very grateful that I was able to be with such amazing individuals, and you guys were just very welcoming, you know. So to me, I told my wife, like, it was just amazing to be able to be in the proximity and to have the conversations that we had last night that were just amazing. You know, you guys didn't hold back anything. You guys weren't cocky. You guys gave me the time of day like if I was just, you know, a great friend of yours from years ago. And to me, that meant the world to me. So I told my wife, like,
thank you, Rafa.
Yesterday I went to sleep at night, and I was, more than anything, I just thank God, like, God, thank you for this. You know, thank you for that moment. Thank you for the time that I was able to spend with these amazing individuals. And not even that. I mean, anybody can be business owners like you guys, but just men of God.
That's why I said describe it, because they need to know exactly what it is we're appreciative of.
Yeah, men of God. Like, and I was telling my wife, like, you can tell these people are genuine. There's the difference between somebody that tells you things just to fill your head versus somebody that's genuine, and you can feel the genuineness that they have, and that's what you guys carry.
Thank you, Rafael.
And it's just an honor. It's an honor to be able to have spent, you know, the time that we spent yesterday, even though Andy was rushing us and falling asleep. But I mean, it was just amazing. You know?
It's like 1 a.m. already, bro.
No, eso me encanta, bro. Por eso los admiro yo también.
Thank you for sharing, Rafael. Thank you, man.
Porque I still am a conference junkie. I'm in search of the right education, right? Y y I no longer get impressed from the person that's on stage talking about how big their business is, how big their portfolio is. That's a very important box, because I'm sure they know something we don't in the lower to middle class, and I want to know what that is so I can spread it. Pero ahora hay cosas mucho más importantes que me llaman la atención y que me atraen y que valoro, que viene siendo man of God, family man, great husband, great father. Y eso fueron topics de los que hablamos anoche, bro.
Wow.
So I just gotta give you both major props for being that type of man. Porque nosotros estamos, you know,
thank you, Andy.
looking up to you guys.
Thank you.
What comes to mind when you guys hear that? Como que se les aprecia eso.
It's so surreal, because it was just on a blink of an eye. We're here today. I feel it was yesterday when I'm driving through the streets of Phoenix and Scottsdale at Remnants, and I was with Uncle DJ when he, you know, this morning at Remnants. It's just, que siento, pues, hijo de eso. Sentimos muchas cosas, pero sentimos mucho agradecimiento por la vida, y me sigue teniendo, aún así, parece que no, pero siempre trato de mantener los pies en la tierra.
Good.
Porque nunca sabes, o sea, yo te entiendo por dónde vienes, Rafael, pero estás en una comunidad, bro, que ya tienes esa hambre y tienes la comunidad y no hay razón para no salir exitoso.
Gracias.
Pero también en eso, cuando triunfes, cuando llegas a la cúspide, when you reach the pinnacle, you're also going to remember the days when you were struggling. Y siempre yo he sido muy consciente de que siempre ser respetuoso con el barrendero, con el paletero, con el plomero, con el maestro. Siempre ser humilde, tratarlos bien, porque nunca sabes, algún día la vida te pueden salir cosas adversarias y puedes ocupar de un tecato, de un X, pero nunca de echar de menos a una persona porque está en una situación muy difícil, independiente a la de nosotros, ¿no? Pero se siente bonito cuando nos complementan, se siente bonito y lo único que podemos hacer nosotros es compartir nuestros testimonios y yo sé que ustedes y a la comunidad y al prójimo que están interesados en superarse, ¿no? Que les va a dar esas ganas de hacer las cosas. Nada es fácil, pero a mí lo que más me gusta, o sea, la madriza que nos metimos, it was a grind.
Me encanta cómo lo dijiste.
Era una madriza que nos
Sí
metimos.
En el próximo
Okay.
con
Pero no es
también vamos a hablar
perpetua.
de eso.
Pero
Sí,
no es
hablar-
perpetua. Es una madriza temporal. Y si a veces sientes que esto cuándo se va a acabar, pero tienen que aguantar, tienen que tener huevos, como dicen, ¿no? Pero ya que llegas a eso, wow. Ahora, ¿qué pasa ahora? Me levanto en la mañana todos los días y I have slow mornings. I love my slow mornings.
Yeah.
That's true wealth for me. True slow mornings, taking my kids to school with my coffee.
Eso.
And the principal goes, hey, Mr. Navarrete, how you doing? Good morning. Taking my kids. Hi, Ms. Bernstein. This is Mateo. Da, da, da. Being involved. And then
So
coming
good,
back
bro.
to my wife, going to the gym, reading my Bible. And then going to work and check in with my staff. For me, I feel like a billionaire, dude. I'm not a billionaire. Maybe tomorrow's a different story. But
I love
That's
that.
his one liner. I hope you know. Lo has dicho muchas veces, but I really like it.
yes.
Yeah.
But I feel that's wealth. And wealth is subjective. Wealth is subjective for everybody. Okay, because wealth is not what people think. Your definition of wealth, according to
So
your
good, bro.
purpose, can be different than mine. So they can be symmetrical. But wealth wealth doesn't mean if you're worth 3 million, 3 billion, 30 billion. You can be making 80,000 a year. But your debt to income ratio, your expenditure a year might be 30 grand. So you got 50,000 of excess, but you got all this time with your kids because you work Monday through Friday from 9 and you get off at 3, but your kids go to school. So when you go to school, you take them to all these extracurricular activities. That's a billionaire for me. Because I know a lot of guys that have deep pockets, but their kids don't know them.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'll let you.
That's powerful.
Wow.
Y mucho
That's good, bro.
del motivo que estamos aquí
Yeah.
es porque I know that you guys are great role models, both of you. Y si yo puedo aportar poquito,
Mucho.
ayudar a hacer conexiones para poner una plataforma donde más de nuestra gente
Yeah.
tenga acceso a ustedes,
De acuerdo.
that'd be mission accomplished for me.
You know, piggybacking in what Rafa you were saying and Ivan was elaborating is bro, like it's been proven out of 10,000 men that you put in one room. Imagine 10,000 men in one room. 100 of them can take adversity. They really have the ability, como dijo Iván, de partirse la madre. Me encantó como lo dijiste, bro.
Hey.
That's like really go out and hustle and put the work in. Take
miedo.
action. Action takers.
Yeah.
Obsessed people.
Yeah.
You know, so out of those 10,000, 100 that can take adversity. Out of those 100, only one
Wow.
can take wealth.
Holy
Only one can take wealth, bro. So ahí te va. So the people that you're talking about that maybe you met that are different than us, and I don't think we've arrived anywhere. We're in process, but people who are in their process and they already think they're they missed it. They missed it. And as a matter of fact, money will go away from them.
And you know what's crazy? Those people are not even enjoyable to be around.
Yeah. Here's this.
They're grouchy and you could just
Yeah.
feel the negativity.
Yeah.
I'd rather be with somebody that's humble, that, como dice él, el barrendero, el carpintero, el paletero,
El maestro.
el maestro, that's gonna
Eso.
be like, ¿qué ole, carnal? ¿Qué, cómo te fue ahora? You know what I mean? Something like that, rather than somebody that has all this money, all this wealth, all this success, and you
But-
can't even speak to
But
them.
here's this. I believe that the reason you see that, here's this. When you see that, when you identify that, is God giving you an opportunity to impact your life. So look at, como dijo mi tío Antonio Aguilar, mírenlo a los ojos y díganle que van a ser enterrados en el mismo hoyo, ¿no? Like, look at their eyes. I don't care if they're billionaires. I've seen billionaires and I talk to them the same way. Multi-billionaires, I talk to them the same way. Millionaires or non-millionaires or whatever they are. You know, so But the crazy thing is that money likes people that put it to work and that know that if money, it's kind of like a horse. I like riding horses. And if a horse, they have this, God gave them this sense. If you're scared of them, they're going to know it. They're going to hip and they're going to throw you down. They buckle, yeah. So if you're not scared, they're going to respect you. And they'll be sweating. I remember when I helped my dad break his first horse that we got him. And this amazing horse he bought, and I helped him break the horse. And he would be like dripping sweat like a faucet, and me too. But I wanted to make sure he knew that I'm in control, right? Wow. So money is the same way. If you don't control the horse, he will control you and hurt you. If you don't control money and he knows that you're fearful towards it, you're fearful of losing it, you're arrogant, you think you got it all there, then money is going to control you.
Yes.
And you'll be his slave and he won't be your slave.
Wow.
So money is like a horse.
That's amazing.
Wow. I never said that
Thanks
before.
for sharing that, Chris. Yeah. Wow.
I was like, just came up right now. That was good.
Real quick, while Andy was just asking how you all feel about, when people speak good about you like that. I just want to say I'm very grateful for my brother, man.
Heck yeah.
Because I remember like not too long ago, he was in a garage living in his Riverbank parents' home in the garage because he didn't want to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? This guy was probably paying $200-300 a month of rent, and he's like, I'm doing it. But he took the initiative. He did what he did. God placed him in that position, and God allowed him to be who he is now. And thankfully, he impacted every single one of us that are where we are now. Because I got the initiative of knowing that I wanted to be more because of him. I mean, he's always said he was going to be a millionaire. Yeah. I mean, he had a dog, and he named her Millie because he knew he was going to be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
I like that name, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my dog's name, bro.
He named her Millie because I was like, Andy, why'd you name her Millie? He said, because I'm going to be a millionaire one day.
I'm gonna name her not Billy. Billy. I like it. Dude, I can't wait to buy another dog right now, bro.
So I just want to tell you, brother, I'm super grateful that, and he always says that, like, why didn't anybody tell me? Why didn't anybody give me the, like, tell me, carnal, you're fucking up. Which I think somebody did. I think it was your homie that does insurances or solar.
Yeah. What the heck you doing cutting hair, bro?
Yeah.
Estaba cortando pelo por 5 bolas.
I mean, I'm sorry.
El paro saliendo de aquí porque mira, disculpa a los televidentes, pero la neta ando ocupado, pero te las debo.
Traigo muchos planes. Ahorita no estoy haciendo nada, pero traigo muchos planes. For reals, what you said really resonated with me because, bro, I see you as a person who I like to hang out with.
Yeah.
You have the competence, you have the initiative, you have the humility, you have the integrity, and you're a wealthy guy. Wealth is in our mindset. It's not what we have in the bank. So you're always being a wealthy guy. You have good upbringing. And for anyone listening, you really want to be wealthy, change your mindset, and you'll be wealthy. Money just comes to you. Again, money, you attract money.
Money's a
if
tool.
you put it to work. If you know how to put it to work, you attract it, and that's who you are. Your company's like at $5 million right now, you said?
Wow.
So
5.1.
yeah, 5.1. So it's going to be at 10 million and 20 million, 30 million, 100 million. You're going to be a multi-millionaire. You're going to build a whole bunch of millionaires. So if you are, I'll say this, it's so important who you allow to be over you, the leadership that you put on top of you. We were just talking
about that yesterday, so elaborate on that.
Yeah.
That was
So
beautiful.
if you're a real estate agent, or if you are in the business of brokerage or now credit, come and put yourself under the leadership of Andy, Andy Zamora and Rafael and their team, because it is not about what they offer you. Even, I'll say this, I don't know how much he pays and the splits, and I don't know none of that. I don't need to know all that. But what I do what you do need to know is that if I was a youngster and I met Andy, if I was younger than Andy, 18 years old, 20 or 30 years old, and I didn't have my stuff together, and I met Andy, I'll tell him I work for free just to be around him.
Wow.
I'll work for free. I'll follow Andy. I will follow you, Andy. And by doing that, you're going to adapt the mindset of a millionaire, multi-millionaire like Andy, and that'll be gold. So that's what you should do if you're in business and real estate. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you
Come
for
yourself under Andy's leadership.
Yeah.
that. Any last word, fellas? Este fue el first of... We got another two. Ivan, ¿va a estar listo?
Listo. No, pues gracias por compartir este espacio, ¿no? Pues estoy agradecido por la vida, estoy agradecido con las cosas buenas que vienen, y pues vamos a echarle ganas este 2025 y pues sí, y también pues la juventud no tiene que estar hoy día la juventud tiene que estar consciente de que tienen que trabajar, hay que trabajar y partirse el lomo, y el día de mañana pues ya puedes tirar barra, ¿no? Pero tienes que trabajar y juntarte con gente productiva, gente que anda haciendo cosas, no escuches a la gente que además son buenos para opinar, pero no tienen trayectoria.
Di de las edades que hablaste ayer, de qué a qué años es el promedio de que uno tiene que darle con todo.
Pues mira, cada quien tiene su etapa, ¿no? Y no hay límites, ¿no? Hay muchos empresarios que son millonarios, como el pionero del Kentucky Fried Chicken, él empezó a los...
44.
84.
44.
44.
Creo.
Le cerraron muchas puertas, ¿no? Pero la neta, como en mi caso, yo le eché todos los kilos de los 30 a los 36. No tenía días de descanso. Obviamente, bueno, trabajaba 4 semanas y descansaba 2. Trabajaba otras 3 semanas, descansaba 2 días. Trabajaba 4 semanas, trabajaba un día. Pero me la llevé 6 años. Pero échanle, yo pienso que de los 30 a los 40 es la etapa donde va a definir dónde vas a parar en tu futuro económico, financiero, social, matrimonial y también como padre, ¿no? Pero igual, sí, hay gente que tiene hasta los 45, pero esos son los años críticos donde le tienen que poner huevos.
That's crazy because my mom
Sí.
has told me that.
Sí.
Mi mamá me ha dicho, mira hijo, de los 30 a los 40, si no haces nada de tu vida, nunca vas a llegar a hacer
Ya
nada.
te dice, ya te...
Yeah.
No,
Pero
no.
me dice, tienes que darle de los 30 a los 40
Sí.
duro.
Yeah.
Dice, después de los 40, tus frutos van a
Sí.
dar.
Tenemos de los 18 a los 27 para andar
Para hacer
experimentando
desmadre.
y regándola y echando a perder y componer. Pero
Sí.
ya de los 30 a los 40, si no te pones las pilas, ya te molaste.
Yep.
Y es muy raro, es muy raro y se puede, ¿no? Después de los 40, si la cagaste, la regaste, ok, vas a restaurar rápido, todavía tienes chancita, pero ya pegando a los 45 ya estufas.
Pero es
Yo,
que el
la
cuerpo
neta.
ya no
algo-
responde igual,
Yeah.
¿verdad?
Algo que no hablamos, Iván, me hiciste pensar ahorita es de visión.
Sí.
So, tenemos que tener visión.
Yes.
See, people follow vision, not money, not nothing else. So
Yes.
if you cast vision and you know how to communicate it clearly and you believe in your teams, people are going to follow you. And if you build great teams, you know, you're going to be a great entrepreneur, you're going to be a very wealthy person. So vision, y que viva ñapá, ñamá y la chona.
Hasta.
Listo.
Thank you.
Estamos.
Thank you, guys.
Órale.
All right.